Yeah, I was surprised of that. I've heard people always say like no fur, no sky, but flowers
This
and
guy actually.
trees is interesting.
They could be allergic.
There we go. Maybe that's better. Just turned away somehow.
So, any guesses from the YouTube followers what the puzzle
It is
brand
a bit
might be?
addictive. You were actually going to skip this league until you saw the
Very good
announcement.
question. It seems to have
It
stumped
is
many
very
people.
fun.
This
I
this
like it,
particular
but
box.
it's a bit. You know what it is a
Yeah, I
bit.
don't even know if Amelia did a prediction this
It's
time.
definitely not.
Just shortly.
It's definitely not for the people who don't
Okay, so we have
play
73
every day or stuff like that,
connected.
because like you have to give them
So it looks
gold
like
so
there
they
might
keep
be another
working.
3 to 5
If
people
you
to
don't log in a
join.
couple of days, the gold's gonna run out.
So
Unless
I'll
it's
say,
like
you
maybe.
may go
I mean, I
ahead
only got
and
to Act 2, so
reveal
maybe
your
you
puzzle.
just.
Please unwrap the gift wrapping and remove any plastic that is on
Oh,
it.
we're unwrapping.
Alrighty.
Oh, I'm so tired. This is not
Moment of
gonna be
truth
my best day also, but it's gonna be so much better than.
And what do we have inside? Does it look like a
Ah!
Jan van Haarsten?
Oh no, this is the
It's Jan
worst!
van Haarsten.
Yeah.
It's the worst puzzle for me!
Oh man.
Oh no.
Those are fun.
Ah. There we go.
These are always fun, busy puzzles to get through.
It's not
It might
fun,
be intimidating
busy.
for some people, but all puzzles can be solved. You guys got this.
Yeah, some people might be celebrating right now seeing this, and others might be feeling completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have removed the gift wrap and the plastic, please place the puzzle back onto the middle of the table.
I had to bring
Yeah, I did this puzzle so many months ago, I can never remember if it was plastic shrink wrapped or if it had stickers on it. But remove any plastic that may inhibit you from removing the box.
Does it Jumbo? Does that mean that just a brand, or does that mean the big?
So yes, the Dutchies have got this. So yeah, the Dutch definitely have an advantage on this because they're used to this kind of image.
Yeah, they use these
I thought
exclusively
they
in
kind of
their
get fired
national
if the
championships for the
money
past several
stops.
years.
So they just
A
stop working.
lot of
Okay.
similar things
That's
inside of
nice.
there
That's better.
that they can see
I
and
thought
piece
the
together. So
workers disappear because you don't
it's
pay
gonna
them.
be a fun race for the people not familiar with it.
All right, I think we're ready to go. Everyone's got their puzzle unwrapped sitting on the table.
Drank some coffee.
So I will count down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off. It's always the exciting moment. People ripping into the bags, trying not to spill them all over the place.
There is a poster,
right
but
out
I don't
the
think
gate,
I need
we're
a poster.
going. It's cool
We're
early
definitely gonna
on
start
seeing
with
how many
the
different ways there are to
inboard
just
thingy.
flip the pieces outright. A lot of folks start with one big pile. Some spread them out in like a rainbow style. Karen Puzzle's a big fan of that. Um, I'm keeping an eye on Mariana right now, and she does sort of a big pile and squishes it down real quick and then keeps going. Christian, one of the Polish puzzlers, did this huge washout, so that way there's not a big line of puzzles everywhere, puzzle pieces everywhere, and kind of flipping through them very quickly, which is great. Amelia K is going, yeah, Michelle, tell us about the puzzle there.
Yeah, so 500 pieces from Jan van Haarsten. So the typical Dutch championship uses 1,000 pieces for the teams, but this year they did introduce 500 pieces for the individual competition. This one is called Catch the Mouse.
Perhaps that killing talent of
in
yours
4
can make a
languages,
difference.
and you have a busy classroom scene. There is, I think I'll just show the poster. It's a bit better. You have
Oh wow.
a teacher screaming on the front table. So here you have the mouse. Kids are on their knees trying to catch it, and there's just a lot of chaos in the room. Kids getting up to mischief, balls being kicked, paper planes flying around. yeah, a lot of a very characteristic Jan van Haarsten puzzle, and I'm really excited to see how people, um, yeah, go about tackling this
Oh
image.
wow. Yeah, there's a lot of things in there that are gonna be kind of fun to play around with. Wow, that is a busy
That's
puzzle,
the
but it also
whole
means lots of small things to
stuff.
pick out as you're going through there. Really exciting to see what people end up targeting out the gate. There's a handful of people. Looks like they're sorting edge pieces early on. A little bit of color sort. Can't entirely tell if there's some people doing individual element pulls just yet. Um, Really, we're about 2 minutes and 40 seconds into this so far. Um, and this is usually about the time where you see a lot of the top puzzlers wrapping up their flip. They may still be pulling certain pieces or elements as they get to carry on. Christian there seems to be almost done with his flip. Uh, Same for Andrea Mariana.
So I'm just going to mention those who are on the screen right now. We have Alex from the UK, Andrea from the US, Anna from Germany, Aneta from Germany. And I like Aneta is using her music stand to hold the poster. That's also a good idea. Then we have Akadius from Poland and Ireland from Argentina.
It's interesting to use a music stand. There's a lot of musicians that are also into puzzling, and hopefully the like fast light fingers keep them keep them on the move, which is really excellent. In fact, she looks like she's almost done with the flip there, which is really speedy on there, just coming in at under 4 minutes, which is great.
So I'm going to leave Andrea on the screen for a bit longer, and we'll go through the list alphabetically.
All right.
So here we
I haven't
have
puzzled since that
Camilla from Denmark,
time.
Catherine from the Netherlands, Claudia from Germany, Dirk from Germany, and Elizabeth from Germany. So the countries we have represented today are Argentina, Austria, Belgium, Czechia, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Sweden, and the UK. So I'm just really amazed every time where people come from and how the popularity of speed puzzling is growing, that we can just bring all these individuals from all these countries together and speed puzzle together. It's so much fun.
It's certainly a United Nations of puzzling right there. It's really fantastic.
And here we see Andrea and Claudia starting on the border.
Mhm.
Dirk has pulled out the border pieces, but is not working on them yet, just to place them off to the side.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks are going to try to aim for that yellow in the top because it's pretty clear to see and might be a good way to kick off and box things in a little bit whenever they're getting started here. Camilla's looking strong. Catherine doing that rainbow sort of flip, and is now going for, I think, the edge pieces in there. Yep.
So here's Elitsa from Bulgaria, Ellen from the Netherlands, and I'm really excited to see Ellen tonight, this morning. So Ellen has been on the outside of the top 10 for a while, and she knows Jan van Haarsten. Her team came third in the team's competition with 1,000 pieces, but I know that she and Eric have an extensive library of Jan van Haarsten puzzles, so they probably have 500 pieces as well. And I think I'm really hoping that she breaks the top 10 tonight. Why do I say tonight? This morning. That she breaks the top 10 today. And yeah, we're going to keep a close eye on her. So from the Duchies today, we have Ellen and her sister Inga. We also have Linda and Mariam. but I'm sure the other Dutchies are kicking themselves that they weren't here. Rowan Prestige, who was participated last Monday, she actually won the individuals. So
Oh wow. Yeah,
yes.
that's a huge leg up. And if the people on the screen right now can see, Amelia has that whole top edge done. Elodie is close to wrapping it up as well. Andrea Pang has the top edge done, is starting to build some other things. Christian also has that yellow region done. And it seems like some folks are doing this like dead reckoning process where you build a little bit or take a piece and put it right where it's supposed to go. Which is a really incredible tactic for puzzling, and with these Hoster and puzzles is probably very difficult to see and point out exactly. It's really cool.
Yeah, Eric, if you are there, would you please move the camera closer to Ellen? I'd really like to get a closer view of how Ellen is working. We can see that she's not doing a complete border. She is placing pieces randomly over the surface. Yeah, I'd love to get a closer view of Ellen if possible. Also on the screen is Elodie from France, Emilia Korhoden, and Amelia Lieberman from Finland. And Amelia participated in a competition last night and came second. And I'm competing in that competition later today. So it's a bit of an interesting competition. It's run over 2 days, but I am looking forward to participating.
Looks like Elitsa might have that right-hand side wrapped up here as well. Andrea Pang almost has the full border done. There's going to be a lot of trading spaces over the next several minutes as people take different routes to complete this puzzle.
Lady?
Yeah. There's Ellen using a little bit of that dead reckoning to place things where they go and making slight adjustments, finishing up that top edge. You can do it. Top 10's in your hands. We believe in you.
So here we also have FB, that is Fenna from Belgium. And yeah, so Jan van Haarsten puzzles are also quite common in Belgium, I understand. And I think Fenna also participated in the team competitions in the Netherlands. So she is also might be familiar with this one, and we can see she's actually starting with the blackboard. So the blackboard is like this green blocky section at the back, and that's probably like, in terms of sorting, only one of like the 2 objects that you can actually, or 3 colors that you can sort out. I'll do a close-up in a minute. But about 20 minutes in, I realized, oh yeah, there's the blackboard there, and they're all kind of these green pieces, and I felt like, oh man, I should have started earlier on that. So we also have Ellen's sister Inga, who came 3rd in the individuals.
Clothes.
Plus we have Iris, the Danish champion, and Jana.
Yeah, it's always tricky with busy puzzles trying to figure out what the best vector of attack is, especially whenever the colors are all over the place and you're not super familiar with the image. And so being able to pick out that chalkboard and then just attack it from the inside out rather than going from the edge is a really cool thing to be able to see early on. You can see Inga has that top part almost complete, building down through. This might, yeah, I'm kind of wondering if people have guesses as to what times we might see today.
So in terms of colors, if you were sort, you have like this green section here. There's a green block of the blackboard. Then you have like a yellow wall, and you have a gray, yeah, locker, I guess you call cupboard, and everything else is very mixed and detailed.
Yeah. Yeah, some people, whenever they see busy puzzles like this, they'll treat a lot of those mixed colors kind of like textures. So there's some shirts that jump out to me as I see it that might be good spots to like create an anchor piece while they're inside of that puzzle. We have some guesses for finishing times: 43 minutes, 37:30. Pretty solid guesses. I think this could be a pretty quick one. I'm gonna put a number out there at 36 for myself. 4250 is a good guess as well. These folks are moving really quick throughout here. A lot of 500s have 126 pieces on the edges. So if you see people that have their edge complete as they're coming
You can do
through,
the edge
they're
properly.
already, or sorry, there's 86 pieces. So they're just under a fifth of the way done once they have that whole edge squared away.
So also in the spotlight right now, we have Janie from the UK, Jenny from Finland, and Jessie from Portugal. And I've kept Ellen, Fenna, and Inga on there as well, that we can track their progress.
That's the
See if the elusive top 10 can be broken. A lot of puzzlers are starting to shift to using these white tables, and you'll see that in different places. It's sort of a thing of whatever's available. A lot of times having a white or a black table gives you pretty strong contrast between the pieces, and then your eye doesn't get quite as lost whenever looking from spot to spot. Of course, if you're really used to the table that you have, like Inga or Ellen with that wood on there, usually not too much of a problem,
So I
especially
know
for some of these top puzzlers.
So I noticed that Fenna has her poster in some kind of holder. Looks like maybe a tablet holder. So some are using the poster, others are using their box.
Yeah, it's also fun to see how far tilted different puzzlers want their boxes or the image. A lot of them end up going just flat image, which can sometimes mean that you have to bend down or move around a little bit. And others like to have a little bit of a tilt on their box, which lets you sort of gaze down without necessarily have to flatten out in order to see it. Really, it depends on if you're already sitting and are kind of level with what you're looking at, or if you're going to be standing and moving around a whole lot, and which orientation is a little better for you.
So here we have Yulia from Austria, Carolina from the Ukraine, and Kirsten from Austria. And it looks like Yulia is at a similar level to Inga and Fenna, in that they have started in the same position from the top, with the top border and the black board, and some of the yellow wall has been done.
Yeah, that's a really good start, especially on a chaotic, busy puzzle like this. A lot of folks pulling out that chalkboard, going to town on it. And really, this is where you're going to start feeling that initial that initial burst kind of wearing off. Okay, you've reached the point of you did your flip, you did your first pull, but now what? That's the next big question at this point. At this point in the competition, when we're almost 15 minutes in. Looks like Carolina has that whole that whole border complete. That's going to help box things in a little bit.
So we have Kira from Finland, Kersti from Finland, and Christian from Poland. Now, Christian is, he's made a huge block at the top. The blackboard, the whole yellow wall, the gray cupboard. Sorry, sometimes I can't think of the words in English. I want to say shrank. In German, we say a shrunk. But he looks to be ahead at the moment. Now, he's really exciting to watch some. He did get some of the, so this is his first time participating in a live Jigsaw Jam, but he did get some of the other puzzles from his teammates and posted his times. And the times were like right up there with Alejandro and Kristen. So he's definitely one to keep an eye out as we head towards the Worlds.
Yeah, he's just going back and forth like a typewriter across the across the top, and then just picking elements and dropping them in. It's really fun to watch. And if I remember right, he mostly does big piece counts. So going from 2,000, 1,500, like those huge counts, down to just a 500 is kind of like lifting giant weights and then going to a milk jug. So that might be a good training regimen for him. That's giving him a pretty solid speed boost here.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to Kiara. Kiara has, since she was a teenager, always done these really big puzzles. I mean, I think since she was a child, she's done larger puzzles, and uh, yeah, I listened to the presentation that she gave at a conference recently, which was fascinating. And yeah, just talking about all these giant puzzles that she was doing, and then to basically go, oh, now we use 500-piece puzzles. Do I even own a 500-piece puzzle? So, and I find it also similar to interesting as what Emilia said in one of her videos about training for the worlds, in that, you know, even if you only ever do 500-piece puzzles, you know, you can get really fast. But likening it to like a runner, if you have a 10-kilometer race, if you only ever run 10 kilometers, you know, you're going to do pretty well when you do your 10K race. However, someone who runs marathons or half marathons, they can still run the 10Ks, but it's going to be a lot more breezier for them, or it's going to be a lot less of a physical burden. So kind of also thinking long distance running, and then like a sprint.
Oh yeah. Well, there's the physical component of those larger puzzles. You know, being hunched over for that long, being able to being able to just like
I
stay
love
with
that they
it
even put
for
the
well
paper
over an
underneath.
hour at high level of focus. But there's
Puzzle
also
piece.
the visual cues of being able to look through the field and be able to find what you want. Puzzles get exponentially more difficult as you add more pieces into them. It's not just a thing of, oh, 1,000-piece puzzle is twice as hard as a 500. It's closer to 3 to 5 times more difficult at a baseline, just because you have that many more pieces to search through, and your eyes take a little bit more time. You have to physically move a little bit more. So it's really handy to change the piece count that you're using in order to find either your mechanical speed or your mental strategies that are going to be a little stronger, or just some of your physical well-being in order to really get through some of these tougher ones.
So we also have Lena T from
Oh,
Germany, Linda from the Netherlands, and Madara from Latvia.
And they are all making a really good dent through here. Madara has the entire blackboard, is now going through and getting the bottom of the puzzle squared away before going to the top, taking the road less traveled here, and hopefully that's going to pay off for her. Really cool. A lot
I
of the
like,
other puzzles are still coming in from the top. Oh yeah, go on.
yeah, I like how Linda has pulled out the pink shirts. So of course the kids are all, you know, they've all got different hair colors. Some are wearing hats, different shoes, different clothes. But yeah, I guess, and the floor is gray, and you've got gray tables and brown tables. So yeah, I think also that the pink shirts also jumped out at me when I did it. There's like a couple of, the teacher has a pink skirt, and there's 3 kids with pink shirts. So yeah, maybe when you're scanning the gray colorful pieces, that there's these larger pink shirts stand out.
Yeah. A lot of the characters on these Hastron puzzles are the same from puzzle to puzzle. So if you're familiar with that brand, with that publisher overall, you're gonna have an easier time, because if I remember correctly, there's like the octopus that shows up in several places and different characters. So if you kind of have a rough idea of who you're looking for on the pieces, you're gonna have an easier time being able to hunt some of those down, which is really an advantage for a lot of the Dutch folks.
Yeah, I just want to say sorry, Lena M from Germany is also on the spotlight right now. Yeah, so regarding the characters of the puzzle, one of the icons, you could say, is that they always have a shark fin. So there is a shark fin kind of slicing its way through the floor of the puzzle. That seems to be yeah, a recurring theme. There are some other themes. I couldn't actually find a list anywhere. I remember Eric telling me that there's always a shark fin, and there's a particular, well, not in this scene because there's a classroom scene, but in some of the larger 1,000-piece puzzles, there's always a particular lady, and I have seen this particular lady multiple times. even in other puzzles. Yeah, so the brand of the puzzle was Jumbo. They're also the makers of the Falcon puzzle that we did last week. And yeah, everyone commented. Yeah, we had so many comments that people really enjoyed the quality and the piece cut from last week. So it is very similar. Also similar if you've done a Vazgij puzzle or a Vazge, however you pronounce it in your country. They are also from the same brand, but Jan van Haarsten is essentially a brand of its own. It was started by him himself, but he is in his 80s now. So from what I understand, there are also other illustrators who are producing the more recent works and basically following his style, continuing his legacy under the brand name. But this one says on the box, artwork by Jan van Haarsten, edition 2001. So this is an original work.
So we're going into the throwback, the vintage group on this one. So a lot of experienced puzzles that sort of read up on their puzzle history and go through the catalogs. They may be a little rewarded through here. Somebody mentioned that there's usually a woman with a flower hat, and Sinterklaas often makes an appearance through some of these, which is really fun. Christian seems to be in the lead. I think Andrea Pang might be going piece for piece with them. It's a little hard to tell since they're taking slightly different routes. Pang also has this wild acceleration in the second half of her puzzling because of the method that she uses of this dead reckoning, which is really wonderful. So this is going to be a tight race.
So on the spotlight right now, we have Maria's cat who's taking a nap. Yeah. So yeah, fluffy and just relaxing on the pieces. So at some point, the cat may have to be disturbed to retrieve the pieces under her fluffy fur. Yeah, so we have Magda from Poland, Maggie from Austria,
Very colorful guy.
Maria Roskanova, but it's actually her daughter today, Timia from Slovakia, and Maria and her lovely cat from Sweden.
Picture.
It's a well-known fact that cats are a pretty standard obstacle in a lot of jigsaw puzzling. It's sort of the water trap in golf, if it were. A lot of times people have to shut the door to keep cats from getting in and trying to eat the pieces. In this case, seems to be pretty calm, just taking a little nap, which is kind of the best case scenario when you're in a high pressure situation.
So we're at the 24-minute mark. Looks like Inga and Christian are about halfway through. Also on the spotlight, we have Mariam from the Netherlands, Mariana from Portugal, Marie from... Sorry, where is Marie? Marie from Norway, and Mary, who I think she said her name is Marila, is from Germany. And if we take a look at Mariana, it looks like a mess. So Mariana has quite a different approach. There's no border. We have some piles at the furthest away from her, but like tiny islands. So it's very interesting. So possibly she's doing like the pick and place method, or she's just building random islands. We'll see how that works out. Very interesting.
Yeah, I've seen some puzzlers do this sort of chaos field where they dump the pieces and then they build out of exactly what's there. And it looks almost like magic the way that the puzzles come together, where everything is sort of scattered and nothing's working, and then all of a sudden it forms into place. And it's because they're taking a piece from where it is in the mess to exactly where it's going to go, and then making these little clumps and then joining them all kind of in the last second. Which is really cool. The additional sort piles there are gonna be fun for her to dig out through.
So we have Melinda from the UK, Monica from Austria, Mooney from Germany, and Netta from Finland. I need to move a bit faster. Yeah, having so many people, it does take a while. Somebody asked to see Iris. We will get back to Iris later. It's just that I do want to show everyone at least once. We go through the list alphabetically. and then we will start to narrow down on the top contenders. So my husband, who did the graphics, he does all the statistics of the graphics, and he was like, this week, he said, man, 78 people take so much more longer than like 55. So having this 20 extra people does just add extra complexity, but I hope we are able to integrate it and to still offer the same level of
and Netta's looking really strong in here. Has a lot of that fridge knocked away, most of the edge, and it looks like building little chunks out through the middle. Really, really cool.
So Nicola Giordani, that's actually Chiara. So she was joined a bit late, but she has also, doing a bit later. If possible, could we just have, move the screen a bit more to your puzzle, Chiara? Thank you. Perfect. Then we have Olivia from Poland and Peter from the UK and Ricarda from Germany.
These are shoot.
So
and Nicola's looking really strong. The Polish contingency is looking really, really strong heading into Worlds. They have a really good set of team that all individually are fast, together they're really quick. It's they're definitely ones to watch. Looks like Peter has that whole edge, and Ricotta is doing fantastic. And this is not an easy puzzle, by the way. You're going to see some people finish quick and some people finish a little slower, but really it's about you and the clock, right? So keep shooting for your PR no matter where you're at in this.
So we have Richard from the UK, Rika from Finland, and Sana Susoloto and Sana Varvas from Finland as well. When I look at Inga, I mean, it looks like Inga is almost finished. I feel like I need to check in on her sister. I'm afraid I'm going to miss someone, but we're nearing the end of the list. We just have so many people.
No, it's really exciting. Rika's looking really strong. Richard has that bonus sunbeam just beaming down, giving a little more light onto things.
Could be a disadvantage having so much glare on the screen. There's Richard from the UK, Siobhan from Ireland, Smaranda. I forget where Smaranda is from. Is she from? I think she lives in the Netherlands. And Sophie from Belgium. Yeah, so a lot of people are starting at the top. So we see that Siobhan, Miranda, and Sophie all have the top wall fitted out and are working their way towards the more chaotic section in the middle. It's 29 minutes. I'm just gonna check in on Alan and Finna just very quickly. Not that I miss something.
There's always so much to see in a lot of the events. The judges are juggling.
Oh, Alan's almost finished.
Oh, wow, let's go.
It's between Inga and Ellen, sisters.
The match off of the century. Winner gets the bragging rights. And we'll probably hold it over the other's head for weeks to come. Oh, wow.
Okay, we also have Stephanie and Steffi, but Inga, 10 pieces, Ellen, maybe 20 pieces.
Yeah, definitely being connected to these puzzles has paid off for them on this one.
So we also have Tanya from Germany, Taya from Finland, and Tobias from Sweden on screen right now. But it's going to be a showdown between Alan and Inga. Here, the experience and the familiarity is really going to pay off for them. So they took completely different approaches. I mean, Inga was a lot more... Oh no, Inga's screen froze for a moment. Inga started from the top, worked her way down. Alan was all over the place, but they all come. Okay, 5 pieces Inga, 8 pieces Alan.
Dig deep. We're rooting for both of you. Oh, wow. You can see the difference of going one hand at a time or trying to feed one hand and putting the other piece in. Oh, if you have nails, start biting them, folks, because this is going to be a close one.
Hmm.
Oh
And
boy!
Inga is done. 31 minutes.
Congratulations! Oh, now they're
Wow.
just right behind.
Oh, done.
Oh, well done.
So 2 different approaches, but same result. Oh, well done. I'm just gonna. Yeah, so they were both at 10 minutes 33 on my on the timestamp. We'll have to check exactly which second that was. And yeah, we haven't even reached the end of the list. So I'm now at the V's. We're at Verena, Veronica, Vesna, Vicky, Zach, and Zana.
That was very, very well done.
And they did, I mean, Ellen did post that she had a hint about what it was about and she was going to practice. So obviously they do have this box size at home. I think it was a mystery for so many people because yeah, Jan van Haarsten 500 pieces is not a typical speed puzzling thing outside of the Netherlands. So it was, yeah, stumping a lot of people what that could be, but all the more surprise. Wow, so that
And
was possibly our fastest individual time so far? I
I
mean,
think so. That
I
that
mean, I,
certainly looks like it was sub 33. Um,
yeah, I mean, I know we've had like 37 minutes and 39
mhm.
minutes for individuals. We had 27 minutes, but that was for a pair. So that possibly the fastest individual finishes so far.
Wow, that's very, very well done. That's not easy to do. Even if you are familiar with the puzzle, being able to get your time down under 33 minutes is not an easy task at all. So that's truly phenomenal for both of them. If they've seen it before, if they've practiced it, that's really, really that's an impressive that's an impressive feat just across the board to be able to pull that off. And everybody else is playing for third here. I think there's fewer people that are as familiar with this puzzle as those two, though.
Yeah, so I'll just say that I'll just check it the last 6 people we have in the alphabetical list, and then we'll narrow it down to then who might be third because I don't want to miss third. Verena is from Austria, Veronica from Germany, Vesna Finland, Vicky from Hungary, Zach from the UK, and Zana from Latvia. So I've got the first hint from SJ to keep an eye on Fenna. So Vicky was also doing pretty well. I'm going to head back up to the top.
Yeah.
Let's check on Andrea, Fenna, and the Amelias. Somebody else to see Iris.
The person from the UK is looking really strong. And this is where having that border to that border in to sort of box things in and build targets pays off over time, which is really great.
So I can't see Iris in the list. Maybe did her connection get lost? I don't see it. She's not on the list up alphabetically under I. Okay, there she is. Maybe I just went blind for a moment. And of course, I wanted to see Fenna as well. So we have Andrea, Fenna, the Amelias, Iris.
Yeah. Both Amelias are looking pretty strong here. It's a little hard to tell sometimes what has been built and what is placed with the way that they puzzle from time to time, because they'll be working on stuff and if it's not fitting, they'll leave it right where it is, and that can sometimes block the box a little bit, where it makes it hard to see. But it also is a thing of, hey, I can come right back to this and throw it in as soon as I see it, and makes it where you don't have to transfer as much. So it's a little high risk, high reward on that.
Yeah, so it looks like Andrea maybe has about 50 pieces, Fenna about 30 pieces.
Mm-hmm. Julia there looking pretty strong. Christian seems to have the initial burst of speed that he had, getting that top edge and the greens in there, seems to be slowing him down a little bit in the later half of this. Um, just because this is the busiest part, and that'll trip everybody up. Um,
Well, I know that Christian is very good at landscape scenes. So he's at big blocks of color, a lot of things like skies, sunsets, water areas. Has very fast times on those where others may struggle. But it looks like, I mean, at the top he did the block colors, and now he's got the more chaotic section to do.
Yeah. A lot of times it just comes down to what is the puzzle and is it to your to your advantage or not, right? Like there's not necessarily a best puzzler at all things so much as a best puzzler for that particular puzzle in the moment. So you'll see that a lot of times where people in the top trade spots back and forth depending on what comes out of the box.
Okay,
Oh
so we
yeah.
see that Tobias has about 40 pieces left. Vicky a bit more.
Yeah.
And Mariana, her picture is taking shape.
Yeah, and that Mariana's, that's sort of what I was talking about, of that order built out of chaos, where all of a sudden it kind of comes together, and there's a lot of holes that she can then see and fill in. Tobias doing this cool thing where sometimes he'll feed pieces into his left hand and then ditch them to his right in order to place, rather than just doing things one by one. Um, kind of makes a nice holding spot so he doesn't have to keep going back to the pile right away. Uh, Andrea Pang there using a little bit of a Pez dispenser on her left hand. You'll see that she kind of pushes the piece out and then she tries to drop it right wherever it goes. Um, it's really fun to watch puzzlers offhands whenever they're going through the process, because a lot of times people will puzzle just one-handed. Kristen Thove, famous for that, several years ago, and then somebody went, "Hey, why not use two hands?" It never occurred to her. And so now she's picked up a little bit of speed
Okay.
figuring out how to use the non-dominant hand. Changing things around a little bit. There's Tobias, there's Nicola. Nicola has it's fun to see some puzzlers end up with these uh, large gaps throughout their puzzle as opposed to a bunch of individual fill-in slots. Um, and depending on your style in terms of how easy it is for you to see giant chunks of the puzzle versus individual elements, you'll end up seeing those gaps come through. Um, a lot of times puzzlers that are better with finding objects or large chunks of color, they'll see that come through. And it looks like FB finished.
Fena Bontier from Belgium. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Third place. Yay.
Fantastic job. And that looks like it was in the sub 40-minute cutoff, which is not easy on these busy puzzles.
So somebody asked what my time was. My time was 1 hour and 56 seconds. So I was quite pleased for that time. I know I can do it faster. I actually did it we were actually at a camp in Switzerland with our church friends, and we were in this wooden hut which had quite bad lighting, and we had these big wooden tables. I don't even know if I had a puzzle board with me. I think I had my small puzzle board with me. So I couldn't fit all the pieces on the puzzle board, and then I had like this brown grainy table behind, and there was people playing board games next to me, and there were people chatting. And it was a very quite very busy environment and bad lighting. But I was pleased with my time for 1 hour. So I'm keen to do it again and see how I do in better conditions.
Oh, I'm sure you can crack an hour. It's always fun to know that no matter how you puzzle, you can sort of see a couple of things here or there what take off your time a little bit. Like maybe it was a little too loud, and that was kind of a distraction. That can cost a minute overall, right? Or even if it's just wonky lighting, you can kind of estimate how much that affected your puzzling on there. Tobias looking pretty strong through here. Nicola wrapping up. Yeah, there's this is where you start to feel like really that fatigue is going to start setting in after the 40-minute mark of okay, I just need to wrap up. And your eyes start going a little cross, seeing the same thing on different pieces and trying to discern what is what. And some people at this stage will resort to shape sorting if they start getting a little too waterlogged. That way you're still making progress in a way that's easier for your eye to see. Even though you're not putting pieces in, you're setting yourself up for being able to be successful a little bit further down the line.
So we have a big pack coming through, who have about 50 pieces left. So we have like Maggie, Linda, Saka, Jessie, Amelia's, Vicky, probably about 30 pieces, Tobias 20, Christian 20, Andrea 15.
Yeah, this is where you're going to see a lot of the folks that are less familiar with this particular puzzle type start screaming into the finish here, for these other top puzzlers.
So the time is 43 minutes, so still plenty of time. I mean, normally we're just seeing like the first finishes coming through now, but we have so many who are going to be finishing in the next, well, under 50 minutes. I think we're going to see some really great times under 50 minutes today.
Yeah. Well, and being able to finish a puzzle under 50 minutes, that's about 10 pieces per minute. That's not a easy pace to keep at the whole time through. So it's really phenomenal to be able to do that. Oh wow. And you can see some people are being a little slower and more direct with how they're moving and trying to be very precise with putting the pieces in. And then you have others that are kind of floating around all over the place, trying to take a piece and put it in as many different spots as they can before it's exactly right. Andrea Pang looks like she might be in the last 15 pieces or so inside of here. Christian looks like he's in 20 or so. Tobias might be at about 25. Yeah, this is going to be a really, really fun finish.
Yeah, and Jessie is coming up behind. So, yes. I mean, it takes a different approach for this one with such a busy image and so many faces to kind of gather your thoughts and go about it like logically.
And Andrea Pang
Andrea's done.
finishes. There we go.
Well done.
Well
Fourth
done.
place to Andrea.
Well done, Andrea. And that's not easy because these Haarsten puzzles they don't often make their way over to the U.S. So being able to hang with the top players, not knowing the puzzle all that well, not knowing the brand all that well, that's really, really impressive. Oh wow.
And Tobias final pieces.
Yep, going in one by one.
So Tobias came in first place last week. So top 6 finish for Tobias, unless somebody sneaks in there that we haven't noticed. And
He finishes us.
All right, so I think this is a good moment to bring in our first place champion for today by seconds, Inga.
Hello there.
Were you looking for me?
Yes.
Hey.
Hi.
Well, congratulations. So we've broken the third place. I checked it last week and we worked out there were 5 times that you've placed third in the Euro Jigsaw Jam, and yeah, now you've got the first place. So congratulations.
Yeah,
What
thank
were
you.
your thoughts when you saw the box like wrapped up? Like, did you immediately recognize it as a Jan van
Yes.
Haarsten?
Yes, for us it's a very recognizable box. So Ella and I have been predicting what the puzzle would be, and we were speculating, and in the end we did decide it was going to be this one. So we've been practicing. So it's nice that our prediction was correct, because I think Amelia thought it was another one. So, and she's like clairvoyant when it comes to the puzzles. So
Yeah. So how do you go about like when you have such a busy image? What is your approach? Because even the 1,000 piece puzzles, regardless of 1,500, there's just a lot of people and a lot of colors going on. Like how do you mentally look at the image and decide where you're going to start?
I think usually we do like a pattern recognition. Like you have these shirts also in this one. There's like all these people are like 4 or 5 pieces of the same color shirt. So it's just like, oh, this one has red and yellow stripes, and you collect all those and you place them already where they should go, or at least that's what I do. I always start with the border for these puzzles, so just that I can put the pieces where they are supposed to go. And then, yeah, it's just recognizing stuff. And I think I have like quite a attention to detail. So I see really small things and I'm like, oh, this really tiny thingy. Oh, that's also a part of the
And
dog.
Vicky
you know,
finished.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to run out of Vicky finishes here.
Wow. Yeah. So and how many Jan van Haarsten puzzles do you have?
I don't have that much compared to my sister. Let's see, I have like 18,000 piece puzzles and 500 piece puzzles of Jan van Haarsten. So, but yeah, like when you join in these competitions, you always get more. So every time we join the Dutch Championship, you get like one for the preliminary rounds and then one for the final. So it's yeah. The collection grows very fast.
Yeah. And can you tell us a bit about Jan van Haarsten? Because I just found the information a bit vague on the internet. Like maybe it's a lot more well known in the Dutch speaking internet or from word of mouth. But all I could see was that he's over 80 years old. I couldn't see how many puzzles are part of the collection.
They produce so many puzzles. So now it's a studio. So there's, I think, 5 people drawing the puzzles. And they produce so many puzzles a year. I don't even know how many, but there's multiple 1,000-piece puzzles a year. And yeah, there are so many. And Jan van Haarsten himself has been drawing for so long. So yeah, the collection is huge. So usually at the Dutch Championship, Jan is also there, or if someone else from the studio has drawn the picture, then they invite the artist as well. So that's always nice. They tell about the puzzles and the jokes they put in, because the Jan van Haarsten puzzles always have these little jokes in there. So that's, yeah. Usually when you speed puzzle these, you don't see them, but then they're nice to look at afterwards. And it's like, oh, hey, this is kind of funny. Yeah, and what you mentioned about repeating characters, they are not that often there in the 500-piece puzzles, but for the 1,000-piece puzzles, they are there. And then you also have each artist has their own extras. So sometimes it's like, oh, these 2 guys, they are always in the puzzles by Rob Dex. And then, so they all have their own recognizable elements in the puzzles. So yeah, I think like the fat lady with the hat, that's actually Jan van Haarsten's mother-in-law. And yeah, so there's all these types of figures there.
Yeah, Jim, did you have any questions for Inga?
Yeah, I guess the first question is, seeing as how you beat your sister, in what way are you going to hold this over her?
Well, actually, that's not fair, because on our first attempt, she was faster. So I don't think I should hold this over. she told me just now that she dropped the piece and then she went to pick it up and then she dropped it again. So
Oh,
I was
no.
like, after next time, don't drop your pieces, and then she would have won probably.
Yeah, those 3 seconds always make the difference.
Yeah,
How
it
many
was
how many
just a small difference.
how many times did you guys practice the same puzzle?
I mean, we did this one. I think both of us did it like twice this week.
Oh wow.
I think we looked at our first attempts compared to the others, but that still would have placed us. Yeah, Fenna was also fast, but then we still would have made top 3. I'm not sure if it was Fenna's first time because she's also one of the participants from the Dutch Championship. She did say she didn't practice it this week, so. But yeah.
Oh. Well, thank you so much, and yeah, enjoy your first place win.
Yeah.
And of course, celebrating with your sister later. So yeah, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye. So we've had a few wins, a few places since we left. So first place, Inga Sino. Second place, Ellen. Third place, Fenna. Fourth place, Andrea. Fifth place, Tobias. And sixth place, Vicky. Seventh place, Kiara. Eighth place, Iris. Ninth place, Mariana. And 10th place, Christian. And 11th place, Saka.
Christian being able to make the top 10 on a first attempt is fantastic. Zarka just behind him, really a few seconds here or there. Whenever you're at this pace, it is always can sometimes feel a little like you missed out, but a lot of times that just comes to, that can even come down to how many pieces were already flipped whenever you poured all the pieces out onto the table. You know, an extra 20 pieces that are face down end up being an extra 10 seconds on your time that you have to overcome.
The teacher should go.
So even when it's real tight like that, know that a little bit of randomness is played into there. But we're still rooting for you. Maggie R looks like Maggie's using this tiny little table. I'm not sure if that's designed to be a regulation table for Worlds, or if that's like a TV tray table, but it's really cool and kind of dangerous to be using something that small where the pieces can slide off all over the place.
And Maggie is done.
Hey,
yay! Possibly Maggie is on holiday at the moment, and she's using the random table in the hotel room. So
it is interesting how puzzlers make do with whatever tables they have, and I know I've seen a lot of people having puzzle boards that they'll take with them out on hikes to do puzzles while they're out, or even puzzling in pools on like floating boards there. It's really fascinating.
Carolina Yanko, your camera is turned off. If you could please check that.
And Steffi is finished as well. Congratulations. And now we're closing in on about the 55-minute mark. We're rooting for all of you. There's it's very rare for puzzlers to try to root against each other. You always want to play against everybody on their best day.
Oh, I'm confused. We have two Steffies. Is that the same Steffi? Because I had the hint, Steffi is almost finished. Then I clicked on Steffi and I see there's a whole bunch of pieces there, but possibly. Oh, there we go. We have two Steffies there. I thought they were just two from the same account, but one Steffi has finished and the other one still has a while to go. But we're only at 55 minutes. So if you've still got a chaotic mess of pieces, there's more than an hour left and definitely very high chances of everyone finishing today.
Yeah. And we're gonna have another pack of people start to file in here. The Amelia's looking pretty strong. Lena looking good. Sophie, yeah, Sophie has a couple handfuls of pieces left, and so does Linda. And Linda has a, I think, what looks like a piece of poster board
Okay,
over
here.
top of her table, and that's similar to what you'll see at Worlds, is a kind of poster board on top of a table cover. So it's good practice to get used to that tactile feel of how much bounce back you're going to have once you're on that bigger stage.
So SJ is sending me lots and lots of hints, but I can't switch to those people yet because I feel like Linda is just about to finish. I don't want to lose Linda. Sarah Christensen is about to finish, so I'll wait till they're done before I switch up the screen again. Last piece for Linda. There we go.
And hey, fantastic. Congratulations. Really, once you're in these busy sections, being able to just finish feels like a win. And hopefully for many of you, this is a really good time for these busy puzzles.
And Sarah Christensen is done.
Hey, congratulations.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just going to do a recap of the time.
Yeah, as Michelle pulls that up, looks like Lena's going strong. Elodie has a couple handfuls left. So does Sophie. It's gonna be a tight run in here for the top 15 and the top 20. Let's go, everybody.
So Christian was 10, Saka 11th, Maggie 12th, Steffi 13th, Linda 14th, Sarah 15th, Elodie 16th.
Congratulations. Yeah, you'll see as people wrap up different strategies. Are they using one hand to very accurately pick a piece up, rotate it, drop it where it goes, or are they using two hands to kind of keep one placing and the other feeding?
And Sophie has also just finished. Well done. Well, Sophie's in Belgium, so yeah, so the Dutch and the Belgians did well today. So Ellen, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Ellen. How's how I guess the first question is, how awesome is it to be able to go sub 33 on a puzzle?
Well, I've definitely never done that on a puzzle I hadn't seen before. But
Well,
it's
there's very few puzzlers that can, like, being able to place things exactly where they need to go and pick out what you want at speed. That's really difficult. But even at that, is that one of your faster, like, 500 times overall,
Okay, never
even
mind.
having seen it before?
I usually don't do that many puzzles more often, but it's definitely I think there are only 2 puzzles I've ever done faster. One of which was Jan van Haarsten. I did 4 years ago for 10 times in 2 days to see if I could make it under 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It was years ago.
Were you able to get it under 30?
Yes, I think at the 8th or 9th try. It was 29 something. But this one I hadn't done so often.
Being able to break 30 on any kind of 500 puzzle, that's a huge accomplishment, and then your body gets to feel that speed and keep going after that. But how about you walk us through a little bit of how you approached this particular beast of a puzzle?
Well, I think pretty similar to my sister actually, but because I don't know, it just works well when we puzzle together. We always put the recognizable pieces in between us because we puzzle in such a similar way. So
just start with the border, or at least most of the border, because always when flipping I miss half of the border pieces, but or not half, but too many. And then just find the recognizable people and put them immediately at the right spot at the puzzle, because that makes all the grayish, like the chairs and the tables, in the end, it makes it so much easier if you have everything at the right spot immediately, because you can see when it connects in places where you would otherwise never see that it would connect.
No, that's really cool. There's a U.S. puzzler, Becca Taylor, who calls it lowering the noise, when you can kind of clear things out a little bit to be able to see things a little bit easier. Do you always separate pieces like to the right, or do you go up and down, split?
No, I think since a few weeks I've started separating pieces all to the right. I first did it to the left, but it took me. I'm completely right-handed, so my left hand is completely useless. So it took me. It was just extra distance for every piece. I had to cross a little extra distance to get them from the left to the right. So when I think a month ago I started putting them on the right, and I changed a few other things, but then I really improved. So I think in May I did a post on Instagram with my top 5 fastest times, and since then I think in the last month I had 8 times that were faster than the number 3 on that list at that time. So it definitely it definitely helped me.
Those little optimizations go a long way, right? Because sort of like what you're saying, if it takes you an extra half a second to grab each piece, and that's 500 pieces or more, that's easily 3 to 6 minutes that adds up pretty quickly.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
I have a question, Alan. Do you have a favorite puzzle from Jan van Haarsten?
I think I just cherish the one that I did like 4 years ago, where it was a camping puzzle, and that's special to me because it was the first time I actually found that speed puzzling could be really speedy, and that was way before we seriously speed puzzled. So that one's definitely a favorite, and I really like one that's called the Art Market or something like that. I'm not sure what it's called in English, but that's a puzzle I really liked as a 1,000-piece.
And which details or like little characters or repeating themes do you like, or like kind of make you smile as you're piecing it together?
I really don't see any details. I mean, Inge sees many more. So the more detailed the puzzle is, like the bigger the difference is between Inge and me. So this one is relatively not so busy compared to other Jan van Haarsten puzzles. I know it sounds strange, but the characters are quite big, and that's always in my favor. So there are like only 2 or 3 Jan van Haarsten puzzles I ever did faster than my sister in the first try, and this is one of them because the characters are quite large. So I like everything with larger characters. I only like characters when they consist of at least 6 pieces.
Okay. And how was it as you were children growing up? Are these the puzzles that you got that your family did, or were there other puzzles that you maybe did more often?
I don't know. I don't remember puzzling that much really. So my grandmother had a puzzle of the Netherlands that I did a million times. Not so much at home. I think I started puzzling when I got sick. So I had a bone tumor like 15 years ago or something like that. And then I got a Jan van Haarsten puzzle by mail, and from a school class that had made drawings for me. And then every day an envelope would arrive with drawings and 4 pieces. And that was kind of one of the start of my puzzling adventure. I couldn't do anything for months, so I puzzled so much at that time. All Jan van Haarsten, because that was what we had and what I could borrow from friends and family.
When they sent you those 4 pieces, were they the 4 pieces that went together, or were they 4 random pieces?
Completely random. So it took months before I could piece the first pieces together. It was not that yeah. So about 5 years ago, we did the same for a friend of us that was in our Dutch championship team, and she got sick, and then we did that, and that was a puzzle I made before, so I could make very nice packages that would, well, let her put in something at least every day and let the puzzle grow in a more useful way.
Oh, that's so cool. I know a lot of people have done, you know, chess by mail, that kind of thing, but puzzle by mail is a new frontier, I think.
Yeah.
Michelle, that might be a thing to do, is just send out a piece every couple of days. See who can piece it together. And it's a challenge on the mail carriers at that point.
Well, I know there's here in Germany, they have like this fun thing that they do, kind of like a secret Santa thing, where you send it's a mixture of an advent calendar and a secret Santa. So within the puzzle forum or one of these Facebook groups, everybody who gets involved, they get the name of someone, and then they take a puzzle. I don't know how many pieces, maybe 300, maybe 500, possibly 1,000 pieces, and they basically divide that puzzle into 24 days or however many like little packages you should have, and then everybody gets a package from someone, and every day they have like a certain amount of pieces that they can build, and then by the end of the month they have the complete puzzle. And I thought that was a nice idea, but that was also really sweet what those school kids did for you. And yeah, 4 pieces is quite small. That could take quite a while, but really thoughtful. Yeah, I like that.
Some went missing, so it's it's an almost complete puzzle.
Yeah. So yeah, so you broke your top 10, you reached your goal, and second place to your sister by seconds. I'm really interested to know how many seconds.
And even getting this close is great, and it actually makes me especially happy that my first try on this puzzle would also have been a very good time. So I think that's for me, that's nicer actually than doing well on a puzzle that you've seen the day before. So.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Yeah, you can go and celebrate now, and I'm sure you'll have a lot to chat with Inga about. But you have to watch the video, because actually you had quite different strategies up front. It looked quite different. So yeah, you'll have to go back and review your different styles for this puzzle.
Oh, I definitely will watch it. Right.
All right.
Nice
Thanks.
day.
Thanks very much, Alan.
Oh wow, it's really cool to have a family that like puzzles together, and also a community that wants to puzzle with you a whole bunch. That's gotta be just truly wonderful.
What do you think so?
And I know there's a lot of puzzle communities that are building up all over the place, which, you know, helps every individual just have more fun puzzling, but it also just, you know, ties people together a little bit more, which is really great.
So I'm just going to recap where we have. So Elodie was 16th, Sophie 17th, Rika 18th, Emilia Lieberman 19th, Lena M 20th, Emilia Korhonen 21st, Janie 22nd, Olivia 23rd, Julia 24th, Farina 25th, Arcadius 26th, 27th is Jenny, 28th Elitsa, 29th Veronica, 30th Jessie, 31st Lena T, 32nd Smaranda, 33rd Magda, 34th Alexander. So we're about halfway through. So half the amount of participants have completed their puzzles, and we're at 1 hour and 11 minutes.
And we just had another dash of people finish very quickly. With Ricarda, Shaban, Zach, and Netta all wrapped up here in quick succession. And you'll often see that in results where there's sort of packs of puzzlers that complete at slightly different rates. And there's sort of a standard deviation of maybe about 20 seconds between some packs, and then slightly larger outside of that. And a lot of people are in the close here. It's really fun to see which individuals do things more one-handed and which ones use two hands going into that final blitz.
Easy puzzles, man.
Yeah, and when you do finish, please go over to YouTube and write us a comment. We'd love to hear what you thought of the puzzle. So Andrea and Rika have mentioned. So Andrea said that she loved it, fun puzzle style that I don't see too often in the US. Will be fun to pass around.
Okay, let's read. Hey Narita, welcome back to the Stuff of Chromical Pyramid.
And Rika says, not the best finish for me. She dropped some pieces, then she had a missing piece in the bag, but
you believe in coffee-powered Mar? I barely coffee-powered myself.
Yeah, those surprise missing pieces that are in a bag are really tricky.
Anyways, I have to drop the...
Especially sometimes whenever you crumple the bag in excitement on the way out, you're like, all right, I got it. And then it's somewhere deep inside one of the recesses of that crumpled bag.
People finished it so fast.
Just being able to make sure that you have it so that way you can do this puzzle later and enjoy it again is the important part at the end of the day.
1, 2, 3,
oh, Tanya,
4,
just
5,
2 pieces left.
6, 7.
There you go. You can do it.
8, 9,
this
10,
is exciting.
11, 12.
Well done, Tanya.
14.
Okay, we got that
15,
on finished.
16,
And Zana,
17,
5
18,
pieces
19.
left.
All right, if you're getting close,
20,
dig
21,
deep. Try to keep
22,
it under an hour 15. We're all rooting
24,
for you.
25, 6, 27.
A lot of times,
8,
whenever there's fewer
29,
pieces
30,
left,
31, 22,
individuals can accelerate
33,
and get closer to like
34,
14, 15 pieces in a minute
36,
squared away.
37.
So I think this would be a good moment to bring in Fenna.
Oh my god, so bad.
Fenna, if you are still there.
Okay. Goodbye.
Hello.
Let's drop the call.
Congratulations on...
There we go. Okay, let's read the messages. I was 39th place, I think, something like that. You know this when you have it, your time on it is now 52 minutes. Nice. The grey cupboard and the yellow of the wall, also good bits to start with. Want to see it in a competition? Hail, Chris. We're live on comments. This is the first puzzle you made when practicing speed puzzling with a friend. Hey, Dweller. Almost finished the 30 minutes. Holy shit. Hey, Neon. Did pretty how dopey I sounded? Narita, you're simultaneously barely watching your stream and some horsey jumping in the Olympics because you're barely awake. Kids woke up at 5 AM today. Well, I woke up, I went to sleep very late because I worked in the evening yesterday. But this puzzle is called Find the Mouse. And the mouse is right here. You see it? You see it? Right there. Has lots of little details, this puzzle. Look, they have a cigar. I don't think I did terribly, but... you're tossed up whether to get up at 3 AM to watch. I mean, do you have to go to work? If not, okay, let's add my time. So 1 hour, 11 minutes, 45 seconds. I mean, busy puzzles are my nemesis. I take a long time. So is this called Jumbo? Yes. Find The mouse, yes. Yeah, my time is really fucking slow. I don't know, guys. I realized that I'm just an average speed puzzler. I'm just not getting better no matter how much I try to speed puzzle. But this is a fun puzzle. That one was pretty easy. Then the wall was also pretty easy. The cupboard was okay. The puzzle also was okay. This one was recognizable. After that, I had to look at. I mean, this guy was good. The pink shirts also. But other than that, like these background things, like the desks, they were so similar. Well, this was also recognizable. This desk, that desk was good. This one, I guess, was okay. I didn't even realize there was a dog because I put it together by this and then that, so. But, I mean, this wall was also okay, that one, but yeah. Oh well. Did you watch opening ceremony? Nope. Who is Gojira? Who's Gojira? Yeah. Also, it's really good quality, this puzzle. It's good quality. Nice. 1 hour 11. I mean, obviously, if I did it a second time, because what happens with busy puzzles, I feel like you also learn them more because you have to pay attention to the pieces more. And also, I think I shouldn't really have pre-sorted this. It's not like it made a big difference. I could have picked out those pieces, were easy enough to pick out as they were. You watched the whole thing. It was funny, a little messy in some parts, were gay, in a good way, of course. It wouldn't be any other way. Oh, come on. Well, they stuck together pretty well, these pieces. Okay. All destroyed now. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna be right back and we're gonna play some PoE because I want to. The new league is fun, so I'm gonna